Halloween the game is next in line to be the savior of the ASIM horror game world, and we need it. Every ASIM game so far has fell on its face in some way, shape, or form, and people are hoping that the team of Gun and Illfonic will recapture the good that people found in Friday the 13th. We have had a fair share of playing asymmetrical horror games, and we are aware of what we do and what we don't want from Halloween the game. It takes money to keep an asymmetrical horror game alive and relevant, so devs spend time making DLC, downloadable content. Most DLC content costs when it comes to a new character skin or new characters in general, but there is a time when DLC can be on the wrong side of the fence. Let's go back to TCM. Gun released DLC characters that had broken gameplay such as Nancy and Wyatt. In order to get these characters, you have to pay for them. Then after you buy them, they would make the game one-sided to the point more people would buy those characters. Then they would nerf those characters after a few weeks. In the end, wasted money. Halloween the game could incorporate new Myers skins that players may have to pay for, but the goal should be to make those skins fit into the flow of the game and not be an outlier to the gameplay itself, which tips the balance of power. Having DLC that require money is not a bad thing, but it should be a reasonable price, and the character abilities should be relevant to the game and not open up any exploits. Easier said than done. If DLC is what's going to help the game last and keep the community interested, then Gun and Illfonic should have a game plan to release DLC content on a monthly basis, no longer than 2 months out. If not, the lack of content will stall a game so bad that the community will get bored and abandon it. We have seen it happen with these games. Yes, we are excited to see what Halloween the game is about, and there's so much hype around it. Just like the hype that was around Tech Chainsaw Massacre and Killer Clown from Outer Space the game. The nostalgia of the movies make the game a want, but after the shiny toys in everybody's hands, most of the community are already looking at what's next. There will be so many complaints about the game once it released, and one of those complaints will be where is the new characters or where is the new skins for Myers. Then there will be complaints about the lack of maps or design of the game. This is just the usual cycle that asymmetrical horror games go through. So, in order to keep Halloween the game relevant, Gun and Illfonic should be simultaneously working on new skins and maps for the game, so after release, new DLC will be right around the corner and give the developers some cushion and not work against the clock of dropping DLC in a timely manner, because they have nearly 11 months to get this game into our hands. Wait a minute, remember to hit that engagement button. I appreciate it. Then you have the different metas in asymmetrical horror games that destroys the gameplay experience, and there's a possibility of a rush meta in Halloween the game itself. We was told that phoning the police using the active phones is a way to win the map against Myers. The devs did not go into detail on if active phones be randomly located throughout the map, but in a recent trailer, Myers had access to a box outside of the homes of the residents. If this box turns down the lights in the home, it may have something to do with the power to the phones itself, or if the phones are activated once so many residents are safe. But on a slim chance that the active phones are available automatically at the beginning of the map, then it's only a matter of time before gamers memorize the spawn locations and run straight to them. As I mentioned before, this would be too easy, and Gun and Illfonic should be aware of this as well and do their best not to put Myers in that situation. Gun nor Illfonic have touched on disconnect penalties for the game yet, and I feel this will be brought up as time draws near for release. TCM did not have penalties in the beginning, but eventually was added to the game due to reasonable situations. Dead by Daylight have disconnect penalties, I believe, as well. The downfall for these penalties is the long wait times. TCM is currently set at a 3-minute wait if you leave the player selection lobby. To avoid penalties, people will disconnect right when they get into the map due to the combination of the team or a map they do not want to play, leaving the remaining players with a bad experience. Penalties is not a bad deterrent for people obsessively dropping out of matches. Harsh penalty timeouts is a quick way to kill a game, and hopefully they are not implemented into Halloween. If so, let's hope they are not overly long waiting periods. Sometimes maps are a huge deal for gameplay experience, and no gamer wants to play on a badly constructed map. So Gun and Illfonic, listen carefully. If you have the experience on ASIM horror games and know the patterns of how gamers play, Halloween the game is the next big ASIM game that should carry the genre into the next era. Don't mess it up. Remember to subscribe to keep up with Halloween the game and upcoming asymmetrical horror games. Welcome to Mr. Unleashed World.